Balloon Beats.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Live. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy. I'm not just joined by one guest tonight. We got the whole team on, besides Jalen. Jalen may be tuning in mid-show, so stay tuned for that. How's everyone doing tonight?
Pretty good.
I'm doing great.
Honestly, I'm doing fantastic.
This is so
My
weird.
word, Pat. Para.
I can't complain. All right, before we do get started, you know what this kind of reminds me of? You know, like those Power Ranger episodes where like they get like all the Power Rangers in like one episode,
Aren't they
like
all,
from every show. This is what this is.
Aren't they always?
So
This
you're
is like
really
a
calling
crossover.
So you're telling me
No.
you're calling Brandon a superhero?
Power Rangers aren't superheroes.
I wouldn't
Tyler.
call them superheroes. Yeah.
They are.
I would not call them
Superhero?
superheroes.
What are you
call
talking
them?
about?
Okay, anyway, I hope everyone's having an awesome night. This is off to a great start. Shout out to everybody currently in the chat. Let's take attendance. Shout out to Alex, Mookie the Goat, Brog, Lori, KG Baseball, Amy, Daniel. Who else we got? We got CJ, we got Benji, D the She, Julio, David Perez, Shabuzi, Molly Kellaway. Hope everyone's having an awesome night. Listen, chat. Hope everyone's having a beautiful evening. We're gonna preview the 2021 Yankee season tonight, to the best of our ability. Hopefully, we don't get too far off track. Mookie the Goat says,
Okay.
"I hope this stream lasts more than 1 hour."
We'll see.
We'll see about it. We'll see how long we get.
We'll see if
College.
we make it to an hour.
It's 9 o'clock Eastern time. Brian's bedtime's 9:15 Eastern time.
Look who's talking.
True,
Look who's
true.
talking.
That's true. But Mookie the Goat also had a pretty solid comment. Dang, we're about to witness a stream full of star power and versatility. One could say this stream has the best lineup, even better than the Dodgers.
Wow.
Wow.
You love that. You
Appreciate
love
it.
So who's batting
Um,
first?
Okay, you're not funny, Brendan. So I say we started off by breaking down the Yankees' offense going into the year. We'll go position by position, kind of break it down, kind of like what me and Sean do, what me and Sean did in the video that's coming out tomorrow, 12 p.m. Stay tuned for that on the YouTube channel. But catcher position. Gary Sanchez is the Yankees catcher going into the season. Personally, I'm expecting a decent year out of Gary. I don't think that like he's going to be as bad as he was last year. I don't even think that's physically possible. But I don't think he's going to be like the superstar he was in 2016 or even 2017 for all that matters for. But I'd say like final predictions for Gary. I think he's going to bat between like 220, 240 max probably. If we could get 30 home runs out of him, that would be beautiful. But it'll all come down to his defense and how comfortable Garrett Cole and the rest of the staff is with him. Sean, give me your take on Gary Sanchez.
I said this on the recorded video, but I mean, he's not even a lock to finish the season as a starting catcher. So we've seen him get replaced before, and I don't think the Yankees are shy. I think they would do it again if he doesn't perform. So I think before we get into like his full season like numbers, let's just take into account that he might not make it.
Yeah, it's fair.
I hope he does. I'm a Gary supporter. I'm just saying, keep that in mind.
Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Gary making it is best for everyone, right? But he's going to be on thin ice, and I think he knows he's on thin ice now. If it wasn't clear to him last season, I think management's made it pretty clear to him. So, you know, I'm hoping for, like Pat said, 30 home runs would be solid. If he hits 30 home runs, I don't really care what his average is. He's not an average hitter. Like, we don't care about that stuff as long as he's driving in runs.
So essentially, you could say like Gary Sanchez is like the U of the Yankees. Like he's just skating on thin ice.
Always.
But do you know how to ice
It's where
skate,
I
Brian?
perform best.
Do you know how to ice skate?
I've done it before. I don't know if I'd brag about being the best at it because it's been a long time, but I could probably do it.
You still can't ride a bike though.
Oh no,
Yeah, no.
no
Yeah,
bike.
God.
Yeah.
Brandon, what are you thinking about Gary?
I mean, I don't know if it'll even be clear because it was obvious that getting benched in the playoffs didn't register with him that he was being punished, but
That's
it
fair.
all just depends. As we saw this spring training, he started off hot, then kind of slowed down. So it's gonna all depend if he can stay consistent. And we're not asking for much. You're just asking for like honestly 240, 30 home runs. That's not really much to ask for. But I think to your point, it's going to be how he can handle the pitches. This is almost a brand new pitching staff. He lost Tanaka, he lost Paxton, he lost Happ. He has to learn all these new pitchers. So I think he'll do a good job. Probably 30, 35 home runs is a good range.
Fair enough.
All right, I like how you all are criticizing me for being a crappy catcher, but so I have a prediction that Gary Sanchez is going to struggle the entire month of April, but come May, he's going to pick it up. So I'm projecting Gary to bat 230, 30 home runs, 85 RBIs, and he's going to strike out over 130 times. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. So now that we're on the topic of Gary, Brandon, I think me and you went over this in the lineup preview video, but July 1st, do we think Gary Sanchez is still the catcher of the New York Yankees, starting
That's a good
catcher?
over-under.
You asking me?
I'm asking all you guys.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a good over-under. I don't know.
what was the day? May
It's
1st
really-
or June 1st?
June 1st.
July.
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 No,
Oh, but July 1st.
Neither of what you said, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he'll be the.
I mean,
he'll
I
be
hope
there.
so, but that's enough of a sample size to where he might not be. So,
Yeah. Yeah, if he's struggling, if he's hitting the way that he hit last year by then,
oh yeah, he's done.
I think he's done.
do we think he catches Garrett Cole in the postseason?
If he
Depends.
plays,
Into the postseason.
if he plays well throughout the season, yes. I mean,
I
at
think
one
so.
point you're going to have if Gary Sanchez ends up being your catcher for the future, you can't be with teams that do the personal catcher. Like if you look in Houston, they didn't really have like a solidified number one. I mean, you had Chirinos and Maldonado, but Chirinos wasn't that much better than Maldonado. With Gary, when he's hitting well, you can't take him out of the lineup
Sure.
because the drop off offensively from to Iggy is pretty massive.
Sure. Lori says Gary 3 Ks tomorrow. Would I be shocked? Not at all.
No.
Literally not at all.
Would you
Wonderful.
guys take
I-
3 Ks and a homer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
That's,
yeah.
all
a, good,
right.
that's a good day. That's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
day. That's a good day.
I have a hot
That is
take.
Gary Sanchez.
Oh wait, Paris, a hot take, everybody.
Oh boy.
By July, Kyle Higashioka won't be the backup catcher.
Oh, so there could be 2 scenarios here.
Where's
could
he
be
going?
The starting catcher, or he could be.
He's
outta
going to be
here.
sent out to the alternate site while Chirinos is up.
I don't know
That's
about
a
that
spicy take.
That's
I
a
don't know
good.
about
That's a
that
good
one,
hot
Byron.
take, though. That's
It's
why it's a
spicy
hot
though.
take.
I
No,
got.
it's like a
Yeah.
spicy Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
Oh my god! Of course.
Of
That's
course,
coming up.
Brian wouldn't know.
Are
about
they
it,
even
but-
Brian
good?
wouldn't know.
Chad,
Brian.
Dude.
are they even good?
Brian.
Go this Sunday, Brian. Go this Sunday.
I'm going Sunday to Chick.
Not only is it Sunday, they're closed, but it's also Easter. So you kill 2 birds, 1 stone. Go for it, Brandon.
maybe they'll be open.
I mean, I kind of have a kind of hot catcher take though.
Go for
Austin
it.
Wells is going to make his major league debut this season.
Okay,
Ooh.
that's just
No,
way too hot of a take,
no, no, no,
Brandon.
no.
Brandon's
Very
just
hot.
like he's just throwing stuff
no,
at the
no,
wall
no.
to
Give
see
him
what
It's
credit.
a scorching hot take.
Give
No,
him
no, no.
credit. That's pretty hot.
I don't know about that one.
Just
Too
like
hot.
just like Aroldis Chapman when Cy Young.
Hey, in a 60-game season, that could have happened.
Okay, wait. Before we do move on to first base here, let's not avoid the fact that last season for our season preview, Brandon not only predicted Aroldis Chapman to win Cy Young, but he predicted Gary to win MVP last
That
year.
was my hot take. That was my
Those are
hot take.
2 flaming hot takes last
Oh.
year. And they worked out very well.
Brandon.
I have a better hot take this year that could work out in my fortune.
What is it?
It's a Tyone finishing top 5 in Cy Young.
Okay, let me give you that.
That's a realistic thing, though.
That's if he stays healthy.
Are you guys ready to move on to first base?
Of course.
Yes.
Now, we know Luke Voigt is the Yankees' first baseman. He had a beautiful season last year, but partially torn meniscus, which means that he's going to miss. I think they said he should be back around like late May, probably like best case scenario. I'm expecting him back in June. I think the Yankees are going to take it cautious, especially if Jay Bruce is doing well. Speaking of Jay Bruce is going to be the Yankees starting first baseman to begin the season. Listen, I'll give my input on him to start. I like Jay Bruce. We know I was a Jay Bruce guy. I like Dietrich a little bit better, but neither of them really proved their case this spring to make the roster. If Luke Voigt didn't get hurt, it's very likely we would see Jay Bruce gone right now. So I don't want to say Jay Bruce got lucky that Voigt got hurt, but maybe he got lucky. But I think Bruce is gonna put up pretty good numbers. Brandon, was it you I did the lineup preview with? I kept mixing up Jay Bruce and Luke Voigt.
That was me and you.
That was Sean. I mix
me.
up their names all the time. But no, I think Bruce is going to have a solid year. I'm not like Brandon. I don't think he's going to have an all-star season. But I think we could expect Bruce to kind of put up I'd say bat 220. If he could hit 20 home runs this season, that would be ideal. Especially if he plays enough games. I think it'll be so easy for him to do it in Yankee Stadium. But Sean, what do you think about Jay Bruce?
I don't really think Jay Bruce is going to matter too much to the Yankees this season because he's only going to be there until the first baseman until June, the latest. And where's he fit when Voigt comes back? So I don't even think he's going to be a Yankee halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Unless there's another injury, of course. But
yeah, I agree. Brian, but before you do go, I would just like to bring on our sixth guest of the evening. Shout out to Jalen. Let's go, Jalen. How are we doing tonight,
made it.
Fellas, how are we doing tonight?
What's up, man?
Fantastic.
Currently FIU baseball is losing to University of Miami baseball 14-0. So
love that.
yeah.
It's a good try.
Sounds like fun. You know what? Since Jalen
That's
is
what
here,
it is.
let's let Jalen give us his take on Jay Bruce.
For sure.
Okay. Just overall or for tomorrow?
How do you think he's going to perform this season?
I think he'll be all right. I don't think he's necessarily going to be a staple in our lineup by any stretch, but I think he's going to be a little bit revitalized. I think whenever guys like that, like veterans who have been around a long time, come to play for the Yankees, they have a new resurgence. And I think his bat plays perfect in Yankee Stadium. So I think if say Voigt's out till just to be safe, early June, I think Bruce could give us 12 home runs, 30 to 40 RBIs, maybe hit 230, 240. I'd be fine with that. Yeah. I don't need him to be a Gold Glover at first base. I don't need him to be, an all-star or by any stretch, but just balance out the back half of the lineup, and that's all. That's all we really need from him.
Brian, now we could go back to you. Brian, what do you think about Jay Bruce?
Well, let's see. Sean started off low on Jay Bruce. Then Jalen brought it
being
up
realistic.
a little bit. He's mild on Jay Bruce. I'm up here on Jay Bruce, man. Okay, I have a little bit of a hot take. You guys might disagree with me, but I think he's going to come in and tear it up the first month of the season, and then probably come back down to earth, but solidify himself a roster spot.
When you say tear it up, what kind of numbers are we talking?
I'm talking very good numbers. I don't know.
MVP?
I don't want to put out any numbers because I know you're going to bring it back. And kill me
MVP
later.
Numbers?
No, not like that. I'm just saying,
okay.
like a Jay Bruce tear it up, maybe
So you're predicting he's going to hit 10 home runs in the month of April.
Early May. What?
You're predicting he's going to hit 10 home runs in the month of April.
I'll say 8. I think 8. 8 home runs in April.
That's not
I could
bad.
see that
That's
though.
tearing
That's
it
not
up for him.
Yeah,
That's
I
tearing it up for
can see
him.
it.
Brandon, what do you think about Jay Bruce? I'm very interested.
I mean,
Brandon's take.
It's kind of funny that we're getting Jay Bruce, but it's about 3 years or 4 years late. I mean, he's going to really use that short porch well. He's the veteran hitter this team is needed. We've been looking for a lefty bat for how many years? I mean, 4 or 5 years. So
Preach, Brandon.
So, I mean, all we're really asking for Bruce to do is just catch the ball at first, not do too much, and just be that veteran presence in the lineup that we need. We really do need a lefty to kind of – I mean, I can see him honestly batting maybe even up to 6th in the lineup, depending on how well he is. But I think 8 home runs is a good expectation in the first month because maybe guys will start throwing a fastball first pitch, will jump on it because he had a really good spring picking on first pitches as well.
All right. So, I mean – do you still think he's going to make the All-Star team, like you said in the?
I think he has a chance. I mean, if he's an All-Star as a first baseman, I mean, in the AL besides Olsen and Abreu, it's kind of thin.
Okay, Brandon,
That's fair. That's fair.
Para, hit us with
can't
your
see
Bruce
that.
take.
Well, like I said in yesterday's live, I said that Jay Bruce is going to average between 15 to 16 home runs during the season, but honestly, he can have a better career than Kendrys Morales as a left-handed hitter with the Yankees. It's a guy we're supposed to get back in 2017, but the Mets, you know how they are with the Yankees. So overall, I can see Jay Bruce batting 245, 15 home runs, 50 RBIs, and he can be that benefit. He can be that if factor for the team when they need him.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us kind of have like the same outlook as far as Bruce goes. But I think Frank brings up a good question here. If Bruce does really well, how will we keep him in the lineup after Voigt is back? And this is kind of an interesting situation because let's say he puts up all-star numbers, like Brandon says. Let's say he puts up MVP numbers, like Brian says. Like, the Yankees don't have a way to keep him in the lineup. They just don't.
Nope.
Unless there's another injury that happens and they have to put him in outfield, knock on wood, hopefully not. But you never know. But I just don't see a way they could keep him in the lineup if he's still doing well.
If
I
he's
could
doing
see
well,
it.
package him to the Angels for Mike Trout.
I could see them keeping him in the lineup. I think with things like that, they're good problems to have, and things like that generally work themselves out. So
Sure.
if Jay Bruce is going off, which again, this is kind of a little bit unrealistic. Like no one's really sitting here expecting Jay Bruce to be an MVP. But let's say his bat is like one that you don't feel like you want to take out of the lineup, and Luke Voigt's coming back from meniscus surgery. You're obviously gonna ease him back into the lineup. You'll keep Jay Bruce in when you want to give Voigt a couple days off. You can give Stanton a couple days off, or maybe they're talking about Stanton playing left field a little bit this year, so you could have Jay Bruce be the DH, give Clint a few days off. Judge is going to need a few days off. They're going to be very liberal as far as how they give guys days off, as they always are. So
Sure.
I'm not really too concerned about if guys are performing too well, like how are they going to find spots for them. They generally do that.
It's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
but-
sure.
My point was like, who would, like when Voigt comes back, who's going to get kicked off the bench if they want to keep Bruce?
Wait.
Tyler Wade.
Yeah.
Gio can play short.
Realistically,
No,
mean-
you would have to. If
if
Bruce
Jay
is doing
Bruce is
very well,
breaking-
you have to.
I hope so. I just don't think the Yankees would do that.
Listen,
They'd
before
have
we
no
do go to second base here with DJ, do we like this better?
Ooh,
I like that.
Chat, let us
kinda
know.
fresh.
This is 1. This is 2.
No, this was.
Yo, I feel like I'm
This
at the
one
eye
way
doctor.
better.
I feel like I'm at
This
the
is
eye
way
doctor.
better.
I like this.
All right, we're sticking with this, I guess. Chat, if anybody has complaints, speak now or forever hold your peace. But moving on to second base, this is kind of more natural. This is kind of like how we
Yeah,
usually.
like
I feel
we're
it.
so close.
Oh, 2,
Yeah.
2, 1, 2. This one's 2, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yep.
true.
Oh, 2,
Go with your
1, 1, 2.
No, you counted the same
Yeah,
person
it's,
as one.
it's pretty even. I think
Oh,
we stick
really?
with this one.
You get one
Alright.
vote.
All right, we'll stick with it. Bro, it seems like it's pretty even.
What about our votes?
Do our votes matter?
I mean, like when you bring up a
This is a
comment, you
democracy,
really
bro.
push us back, though.
No, I know. What if
Like,
we
bring
just
up
do
another
this?
comment.
No.
No,
No
no
one
one wants
wants
to do
to.
that.
Although we
Can't
can't
even
see
see
Jalen, which
Jalen.
is nice.
All right, no. Well, all right, chat. How about we do this? How about we switch for every position? Is that too much?
Listen,
Probably
Patrick is such a
No,
people
that's
pleaser.
just-
He wants everyone to be so happy.
Like this.
I can't
No
make a
one-
poll, Daniel. This isn't Twitch. I'm
No
sorry.
one cares that much. It's not
I-
a big deal.
All right, so I kind of like this one.
Aw.
Oh, you want us all close.
I want to be close together.
Huddle up, boys.
okay. So,
Huddle up.
it's fine.
I'll just
All
move
right,
back
it's
a little
fine.
bit.
Yeah,
So
this is just a crapshoot.
DJ LeMahieu, second baseman. Yankees re-signed him. What was it? A 5-year deal?
6 years.
6 years, 92
Six
million.
for
I
nine.
think.
90. It was just for 15 a year.
Where'd I get the 92 from?
I
Where'd you
don't
get the
know.
5 from?
Exactly.
No idea. I'm not good with numbers. We know this.
Yeah, we
But-
do know this.
You can make polls in YouTube.
What?
I don't know how. Just saying. But DJ LeMahieu is gonna have an awesome year this year. Like this is one of those guys where I don't even know if we need to talk about. Like
No.
it's automatic he's gonna give us over a 300 batting average. And does anyone have any disagreement to that statement? That DJ's gonna bat over 300?
I have a hot take.
Oh God.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I think
Oh boy.
I think DJ's gonna. I think this is the year DJ's gonna hit. No, I can't say that. 60-game season it was easier to say that, but not this. I was gonna say he's gonna hit over 400.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going like the opposite route. I
Yeah,
thought-
no,
no,
I
I think-
wild.
I think DJ. I think
That would
DJ's
be
gonna get
wild.
better. I think DJ's gonna get better throughout this contract.
You think
I think maybe the last couple of years he'll like tail off a little bit, but I think over the next 3 years we're gonna see DJ really step up his hitting, if that's even possible. Because I genuinely think that he's getting more and more comfortable, not only in this Yankee lineup, but hitting against these American League pitchers. And he's not a guy that you can really game plan against. Like he hits every pitch, he hits to all parts of the field. So it's not like when Judge was going crazy in his rookie year, they were okay. Let's throw sliders low and away, fastballs high and in, and he struggled with that for a long time. If you pitch DJ any way, he's gonna find a way to get hits, and there's no type of pitching can. It makes me laugh. Like I have no idea how this guy is so good at just doing everything that we're taught from like when we're 5 years old and they teach baseball. He does it to a T. Like it's crazy.
But also, guys, like let's not ignore the fact Tyler Wade had a better spring than DJ LeMahieu.
I'll ignore
How do I
it.
leave studio?
I'll ignore
All
it.
right, Sean, you want to say something about DJ?
I was just gonna say like Jalen said, like he's gonna get better as these years go on, just because like he just has that kind of game where like it's not gonna fall off. He just puts the bat on the ball, and like it's kind of like Jeter in a way. Like he's just gonna keep hitting the ball. It's not like his power is gonna diminish and then he's got nothing else.
All right, let's set an over under. Right? Do we think DJ LeMahieu is gonna bat over or under 315 this year?
Over. Without a doubt.
Over?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it was like 306 or
I can see
whatever,
DJ finishing
just
out with a
over.
345 batting average.
345.
You got a lot of luck with that too,
Legitimately,
though.
our lineup is better this year. Like they have to pitch to him.
that too.
Especially if Gary comes back and is like at least some kind of a presence in our lineup, and he's hitting 8th or 9th, they have to pitch to DJ. And you have Judge right after him. Then you have Voigt when he comes back. You have Torres. You have Stanton. You have Clint as a full-time starter. This lineup is ridiculous. This is the best lineup we've had in a while.
And also, going back to Gary, I hope he has that type of season that shut up all the haters between just like the way Stanton did during the postseason. As soon as Stanton had a great postseason.
Sorry, you're like 2 positions too late. I mean,
I don't care. That's my twin. Leave me alone.
we're gonna be like deep into the bullpen, and Parr's gonna be like, "Wait, I have something to say about Jay Bruce." All right, that ship has failed, bro. No, but I saw Alex said, as far as Baseball Reference predicts, DJ's not gonna be batting over 300. They have him batting 297 this year.
Yeah,
So, none of those things matter.
Yeah, no, they just pull those numbers out
I
of the
hate
hat.
predictions, bro.
Like, what do they base that on?
Exactly, that's what I want to know.
Brian's stats, maybe? I have no idea. Brian, do you calculate those projections?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just make
okay.
them up, though.
Makes sense. So, moving on to shortstop, Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres is in his first full season as a New York Yankee shortstop. I don't really want to count last season all too much. So I'm going to say first full season as a Yankee shortstop. Listen, defense was Gleyber Torres' major problem last season, right? I mean, was not good defensively at shortstop. You could even consider him a liability. He kind of showed this spring that he's improved a bunch. And offensively, we know what Gleyber Torres is capable of. I think he hit, 38 home runs in 2019? So he definitely has like that 40 home run capability. We know he's an awesome hitter. It all comes down to the defense and whether or not he's comfortable at shortstop and whether or not he can make the plays that count, especially in big situations. So I think that we should be expecting a big year out of Gleyber Torres as well. I mean, now I say this with like all the Yankees just because maybe I'm like an overly optimistic fan, but I'm like ridiculously confident in Gleyber Torres going into this year. I think he also has that confidence in himself too. I mean, like we said, all offseason, there was talks like Brian Cashman even said that he showed up to summer camp out of shape. And I think he kind of took that comment to heart. And I use this expression all the time. He doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. He has a whole can of Pringles, bro. An entire can of Pringles on his shoulder.
That's bad.
And like, I'm just saying, I'm expecting a big year out of Gleyber. Like, it's possible that he could finish top 5 MVP.
Yeah, I mean, this is my guy, man. I'm really expecting a huge year from him. This easily, like everything you just said. Like, I'm not going to question his offense, especially since he's like in better shape, and the plays he's been making in spring and short is just like really encouraging. I don't care if it's spring. Ground balls are ground balls. Like,
yeah, that's very true. I'm not gonna lie. I think, like you said, I'm not gonna repeat that terrible joke that you said, but I do think he has a chip on his shoulder because I think I don't know. It's kind of like a contract year in a sense, right? So like Gleyber is not up for a new contract after the end of the season, but this is like the free agency class for shortstops, right? So if Gleyber doesn't have a good year, or if he has a mediocre year, even like he's okay. He hits 22 home runs, maybe 60, 70 RBIs, and hits 240, and is a decent fielder. People are gonna be begging for a shortstop. I'm not gonna say who my choice would be. I think
whose phone is that, bro?
Is it mine? Let me check.
I feel like I'm a teacher right now. Like I let the first two slide, and now I'm like, yo, everyone's phone off.
Put it in the bucket. No, yeah.
No,
But
literally.
no, I genuinely do think that this is like the year that Glaber has to prove himself before he enters that year of like final year of arbitration. Like we'll get there, but this is the year where he's going to solidify himself as the Yankees shortstop of the future. If he has the year that they know he's capable of having, and that we know he's capable of having, the Yankees are not going to be in the market spending $400 million on Trevor Story or Lindor, Corey Seager. Like they're not going to need to, because he's going to be our guy. Although I do think there's a possibility of Trevor Story coming and playing third base, but we can talk about that another day.
We can't.
Here's my
take that
take
for
on
another day.
Gleyber Torres. He is our future shortstop, I believe. And this season, he would hit 285, 35 homers, 120 RBIs. And he would have less than 10 errors this year.
Ooh,
I would hope so. If he has more than 10 errors, I'm going to be at Yankee Stadium with a fat head of Francisco Lindor every single day until he signs.
I'll take the ground ball.
Speaking of fat heads, Pat, don't you have a fat head?
It's not a fat head. It's a cardboard cutout. If you guys want to see the cardboard cutout of Alex Rodriguez, join the Twitch stream after this. How about that?
Ooh,
Stay tuned for that.
incentives.
Incentives, yeah. Brian, what are you thinking about Glaber going into this year?
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, you guys make some good points. I think one thing to really
you.
keep in mind is his age. He's what, 24, 25? So
24.
24. So he's still improving. You know, he's still at that
Right.
age where he's going to get better.
He's
So,
only
you know,
22.
I expect to see a big jump in his defense this year. Maybe not to be, you know, a great defender, but at least a serviceable one. And then his bat will surely make up for that. So,
Sure.
yeah, I mean, I don't expect much more out of him offensively than from 2019 because he had a crazy year that year. But, you know, I think we'll see something on par with that.
Sure. Before we do advance to Brandon's take on Glaber Torres, I got to bring up CJ's comment here. Sean, you finally have a good background.
Thank you.
Sean, because we
I
know,
flipped my
like,
desk
Sean's
around.
when Sean's at school, like, bro, you
He's
look
in
like you're in
prison.
jail cell.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's in prison. Buy a poster at Target for $5. Brandon, what do you
No.
think about Glaber Torres?
I mean, everyone kind of said it. We don't really have to question the offense when he's in shape. The defense, I mean, we all saw it. He just couldn't make the easy plays. He was thinking too much. So as long as he's making those plays, we need Glaber Torres in the lineup. We saw him in the postseason. At one point, he was one of our best hitters. That home run off of Yarbrough in Game 4, I believe, honestly put us ahead, gave us that cushion that we needed. We just need Glaber Torres to make the plays he knows he can make, and then just hit. I mean, are we going to expect like 38 home runs? No, because he's not going to be playing. The Orioles are not going to pitch him the way they did. But like 25, 30 home runs is a good range for him. I do always say that 38 home run season was probably the worst thing that could happen to him, because I don't remember him coming through our minor league system as like a huge like 35, 40 home run power hitter. I believe it was like 25, 30.
Yeah.
So we just need him to hit well. And
I don't
'cause
even
he'll
know if scouts expected him to hit 30 in the majors.
No.
Like, if someone could go back and look at his scouting grades, I don't think they gave him much for power at all. I know he had like a very good like overall like hitting grade, but I don't think they considered him ever having too much pop. But
He could still do it, though.
Oh, no,
think
I know
it's-
he could still do it.
He hits in Yankee Stadium, and he's gotten a lot stronger. So I don't know. I mean, I could see him hitting 30 plus for his career. Like,
Let me ask you guys this question: with the Yankees right now, over or under 280 home runs as a team?
Over.
They
Easily.
hit
over.
like
I think they hit over
310 in 2019. or
Yeah, I was
something
gonna
like
say,
that.
yeah.
home runs
easily
are way up.
I'm smashing
Easily.
the over.
Well, although they did deaden the ball a little bit, so we'll see if that
Yeah.
matters.
I don't
Probably
think it'll have
not.
that big of a,
Probably not,
of an
but-
impact. But over under for Gleyber Torres, do we think he is finishing? Well, it's more of like a higher, lower kind of thing. Higher or lower than 5th in MVP voting this year?
Higher.
I think it's perfect at 5.
Yeah, I think it's between 5 and 10.
Lower?
Yeah, I don't think he's top 5 just yet.
You know, I'm top. Well, I'm top.
I give him
5.
top 10, top 15 is probably comfortable.
Guys. I'm
I
top
actually-
5, but I'm not 2, and I'm not 3, and I'm
You're
not
like-
4.
Are you just full of bad jokes tonight, man?
Thank you.
So I got the Glaber Torres scouting grades.
My
Well, yeah, pull it up,
gosh.
Brandon.
So this was on Fox, where it said they gave him a 60 for contact and only 55 for power. So
There you
That's
go.
not terrible, though.
No,
No,
that's
that's
not
not
bad.
30 home runs.
home runs.
Yeah, that's
no, it
definitely not
could-
30 homers.
It could be though. I think like if they project a guy to have, let's just say 60, because 55 that's dumb. They should round up by 10.
You should write them an
let's-
email.
I should a really strongly worded email.
Strong.
But let's just say
Maybe a diss track, Jalen.
60. I think we'll save that for the late
You
night
should write a
version.
song about Mickey Rivers.
Anyway, so yeah, I think if you're graded at like 60, that's probably projecting 25 to 30 home runs,
Yeah.
guys, because it's up to 80. So if you have an 80 power, they think that you're going to be like the home run champion every year. Like
Last
they
guy
think you're
that
going to
was
be
80 was
Nelson
Vlad.
Cruz. Yeah, and I mean that makes sense. I don't think anyone projected Vlad to kind of not be as. Well, he still has time, so we'll see. I
Listen,
don't want to say Vlad sucks, but I'm low on Vlad. I think he's overrated.
speaking of Vlad, this is a very smooth transition. You know what position Vlad used to play? Third base.
Third base.
Let's talk about third base for the Yankees here.
There's your
Um,
first one.
Yeah, there you go. I'll give you that.
Gio Urshela is the Yankees' third baseman, starting third baseman entering the year for the second season in a row. Listen, Gio Urshela might be the best surprise that the Yankees have had. Would we say he's a better surprise than Luke Voigt?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
right, because he's
1,000%.
much more important.
Yes,
to
because
this
we
team.
traded a good reliever for Luke Voigt.
Yeah, so listen, Gio Urshela, greatest surprise in a very long time for the Yankees. He could hit, very good defender. And could we say he might be like one of the most underrated guys in this lineup just because of what he provides not only offensively but defensively as well?
I agree.
Yeah. Because
And
he's gonna
also,
hit
like,
eighth.
He's
seventh.
clutch, bro. Like I feel like whenever Gio Urshela comes up to the plate, like at least with runners on too, like you know something good's about to happen, right? Like also, I mean the Grand Slam. But before you guys do give your input on Gio Urshela season, we got MYY recaps. Shout out to Derek.
What's
How
up,
we
Derek?
doing, Derek? Love to see Derek. Yeah. So Sean, let me know what you think about Gio Urshela going into this year.
I think we're just gonna get another solid season, just all around defense, offense, just because it's guys like him and Clint that I think are just gonna have like really, really strong seasons because they're not Aaron Judge, Stanton, DJ Torres. Like they're hitting at the bottom. Like if you're gonna have to pitch to anybody in the lineup, it's them. And like they're obviously above average MLB players, so I think they're gonna benefit a lot from hitting at the bottom lineup.
Sure.
Yeah. for sure.
Brian, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I was just thinking about last year when we did the preview, and I really thought that Gio was going to regress because, what we saw in 2019 was crazy, and I didn't expect him to be able to keep that up. But last year, he showed that he can, and that's what I'm most excited about, is just to have a solid hitter. Like you said, a clutch guy that can come in. When he comes up with runners on, we always expect him to get a hit because he always seems to come through. And his glove is great, so he's been great for us.
Yeah. I mean, listen, before you give your take on Gio Urshela, did anyone else really think that he was the real deal after 2019? You did?
I mean, kind of, because you saw like a difference between his swing that he had in Cleveland versus what he was doing in New York. But in 2019 he was batting .3. If he didn't get hurt that last part of the season, I think he would have finished with a better batting average than DJ. I think he was at that point. But you could see that there was a difference, and all he really needed to do was just hit better, and he was going to be a great player because his glove was one of the best at third. Not got a bunch of other guys ahead of him, but still, I would say top 5. And the swing just looked different. And the home runs he was hitting weren't just like cheapies; they were going a long way. So he obviously changed something in his swing.
Sure. Jalen, did you give your take on Gio?
No, I think Gio is a guy who was like the perfect example of change of scenery, and I think the Yankees were the perfect scenery, I guess, for lack of a better term, for Gio. Like, I think he's one of those guys that performs under bright lights. I think he's a guy that relishes the moment. And I said when we had Andahar in 2018, everyone was so excited about him, and you can cut him some slack on the glove because the guy just hits. And I said, I don't care if he hits 800. Like, I don't care. Defense in the infield, especially at third base, is something that I'm very, very I care about a lot. Like, if our defense at third base is not strong, or just the corners in general, third and first, I just think it's gonna come back to bite you in the playoffs. and I think that showed, and that's why we had a guy like Adania Chavarria come in big moments, which is not what you ever want to do. You don't ever want to take out one of your better hitters because he can't play good defense. Imagine if we had to take out Aaron Judge in the 7th inning, and then a game goes extras, and Aaron Judge's not there to hit. So I just really think that because Gio now has brought this bat along, he credits a lot to Marcus Timms, which is just huge. The fact that we finally have a coach that gets some credit for something. I'm just really excited for Gio. I think he's gonna get it. He's gonna get. This dude is gonna get paid when he's up. When his contract is up.
I don't think he's gonna get that much money.
I mean, okay, actually, I take that back. I don't know how old he's gonna be when he becomes a unrestricted free agent.
Brandon's gotta be on it. He looks.
I'm on it. Literally on it right now.
Let's just before you say, Brendan, if he's under 33 by the time he's an unrestricted free agent, I think he's gonna get like a 5-year, like 110 deal.
He'll be 32.
Yep, there it is.
So he has this year he's getting $4.65 million, and he has 2 more years of arbitration, and then he'll be a free agent in 2024.
He'll get a 4-year deal worth like 80.
That's fair, and I think it's also fair to know, like, if it's not with the Yankees and maybe like a team, I don't know who, you don't know what the market's going to look like in 3 years, but a team that's desperate for a third baseman, they might overpay him. But maybe for the Yankees, like he'll take like 4 years, 60, 4 years, 65. Like that sounds about right.
4 years, 60 is like, I would say is like a sweet spot.
That would be ideal.
I mean, I honestly don't see him getting like top tier third base money because the last one
he's not.
Yeah, he's good. He's like a really good serviceable player. So I think 460 would be good. It also depends.
What did Chase Headley get? I think he's better than what Chase Headley was.
Didn't we trade for? We traded for.
No, we signed.
We re-signed it. We re-signed it for like three years, 50 mil or something like that.
I thought it was 4 years.
It might have been.
Okay, wait.
Brandon?
We traded for Headley in 2014. Re-signed him for
452.
Okay.
4 years, 52.
And then we traded him back to San Diego.
Yeah, and then he played like 3 games with them and then retired. Tara, what are you thinking about Gio?
Gio, I can see him batting 289 with 25 homers this year.
Fuck.
No rounding. We're just going right for it.
Para has like a spreadsheet of all this.
You want to give us some more decimals? Let's hear it.
Honestly, I've loved Gio ever since he came
It's
up.
a random guess. I could see him hitting 289 with like a
Hey,
4.3 WAR.
He's gonna get the exact.
Brian and I have a great moment when it comes to Gio Urshela.
187 hits.
Why not?
14
Why not?
doubles.
He's gonna steal 4 bases.
3
127 putouts.
triples, 1 inside the park home run.
Guys, what's going on here? All right, so moving on from Gio Urshela because that kind of went down the toilet. But let's go to left field.
Sorry, Barry.
Clint Frazier is starting this season as the Yankees left fielder, and he's going to remain the Yankees left fielder throughout the season. I'm a firm believer in that. I don't care how much he struggles. I think he's the Yankees guy. I got Wood right here knocking on it. But Yankees 2020 was a breakout year for Clint Frazier. He finally got the opportunity that he's been deserving of for the past few years. Brett Gardner's always been in his way, but now it's Clint's time to shine. Listen, it's crazy because in 2019, his biggest knock was his lack of defense, right? 2020, he comes out and he was a Gold Glove finalist among right fielders. I mean, just unreal. He put up explosive offensive numbers. And I think that I've said this so many times, and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. 2021, Clint Frazier is not only going to be an all-star, but he's going to have 35-plus home runs and kind of like solidify himself as not only like one of the most dominant forces in the Yankees lineup, but due to his like personality and just like aura that he provides to the team, I think he's going to become one of the most widely known players in the league.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
hot take.
I'm just excited to see what he does when it's just his job. No Brett Gardner right behind him, ready to take his spot whenever he messes up, misses a fly ball or anything like that. So, but yeah, I think he's an elite hitter, and if he has Gold Glove defense too, it just puts him over the top. I'm really excited.
Yeah, Brian, what are you thinking?
You want a hot take?
Oh God, is it a good one or a bad one?
It's a good one. No, it's a good one.
Okay, go for it.
I think he gets
305,
some
50
MVP
home
votes.
runs.
What?
That's a good. That's a good hot
I
take.
said I think he gets some MVP.
What
votes.
place?
Nothing big. Maybe 10th place, something like that.
Okay,
but,
well,
like,
that'd be something.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yankees stacking up the top 10 of MVP voting, huh?
oh yeah.
Jalen, what are you thinking about Clint?
Pat, I'm so excited for Clint, and I really, really think he's going to. I mean, you could technically say no, actually, no. I was going to say he kind of had his breakout already, because I don't know if you guys remember, but when we had basically everyone injured at like the mid part of 2019, I think it was, when all the next man up stuff started happening, and Mike Ford was starting, Tyro Estrada was starting. It was just a AAA team basically. Clint carried the offense during that time, and he was on pace pretty much to be an all-star. Then he got hurt. He got sent down. They kept him in the minors when he rehabbed for a while, and then when he came back, he was never really the same. And then we found out that the concussion stuff was a big part of it. I think he showed in that stretch more so than in 2020, honestly, that he's a proven, like, solidified, like, top tier major league hitter, because he was hitting third or fourth in the Yankees lineup, and he was hitting well. Like, they didn't have to pitch to him, and he was still putting up numbers. So I think now he's going to probably bat like 8th or 9th or 7th maybe.
Sure.
And he's going to get so many pitches to hit, and he's just secretly going to sneak up on like 40 home runs, and we're going to look at his stats at the end of the year and be like it was almost like that Glaber year when Glaber hit 9th the whole year and hit 38 home runs. So
yeah,
I'm really excited for Clint, and I think Guardy might have to retire at the end of this year.
He has to.
Yeah, I hope he does.
I don't even want to address Brett Gardner tonight, but Brandon, what are we thinking about Clint?
I mean, the big thing, we always knew he could hit, but it was the defense, because he was awful in 2019, like really bad. So if he honestly got gold, he was finished as a top finalist for the Gold Glove in 2020. So being able to actually play both corner outfield positions, and he probably could even play center if they wanted him to. But I think a full year with no kind of Gardner will play a couple games, sadly, but being that solidified starter is really going to elevate his game, because then he'll be able to get a consistent routine. And honestly, I can see 35 home runs from him.
Fair enough. I mean,
I
everyone.
have a question for you guys.
Yeah,
I have a question for you guys. Well, before that, I just wanted to say, when we traded for Stanton, I thought you said center field. I thought our outfield was going to be Stanton in left, Frazier in center, and Judge in right. I thought that was going to be our outfield, which would have been pretty cool. But my question is, do you guys think, and not to be the Debbie Downer here, but do you guys think that Clint maybe got some Gold Glove votes out of kind of like just because it was such a drastic difference between him being such a terrible fielder to like making some nice diving plays and being just solid out there?
It's possible.
I never really thought of it like that.
The competition wasn't too intense. Like,
that's fair.
So I think it was well deserved. I mean, he had a great year defensively. Like, if
no,
you
he
look
did.
at
He
the
did.
Stats, he had a great year. But before we do move on to center field with Aaron Hicks, Parra, give us some exact stats for Clint this year.
I don't really have exact stats for Clint, but honestly, I love how well. No, it's
Parra, we need some exact stats. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
we need this.
Let me say what I want to say, then I'll give you the exact stats.
Okay.
Sound good?
All right.
All right. Well, now you just lost your privilege. So.
Oh, we never switched.
No, honestly, Clint, in the last 5 years, ever since he came into the Yankees organization for being traded for Andrew Miller, he well represented himself, because everybody thought of him like the guy who was like the attitude. He thinks he's above everybody, but now he's the type of dude who's like he's not really in the limelight. He's just doing what he's supposed to do. He worked on his defense. He improved his bat, and he really finally has that spot. He can say, "I'm starting for the Yankees." So, if you want the real stats, I think Clint can hit 275 and 30 home runs.
Okay, all right. I was expecting like a 274 with like 29, but like that works too. It works too.
It works, bro. It works.
Yeah, round numbers are throwing me off.
Do you have an exact WAR?
WAR?
Yeah.
Can't really give you that.
No. Okay, it's fine. No, it's fine.
6.4.
Calculate it for next time. How about that? So moving on to center field, Aaron Hicks. Now, this is a guy Yankee fans love to hate Aaron Hicks. Like, it's crazy. It seems like all the hate that Stanton used to get has kind of like transferred over to Hicks and Gary. So the hate still processes in the same ways. But Aaron Hicks is going into the season healthy. How long that's going to last, I don't know. but I'm still optimistic about him. Only because, bro, the dude's an on-base machine. Like, let's not forget that. He could bat 220, but still have like a 400 on-base percentage. He's just that ridiculous. And I think a lot of people complain about him batting third in the lineup. I think third is an awesome spot for him. I mean, you get him on, and then you have all those sluggers behind him, Stanton, Glaber, and then when Voigt comes back, you have Voigt, Clint. So I think third is a perfect spot for him. I know last year he wasn't that good defensively, even with his arm too. Keep in mind he was coming off Tommy John surgery, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously his arm wasn't at full strength. I think it's going to be better this year. I think Aaron Hicks is going to have a solid year. I don't think he's going to be at like the same level as I put like Clint Frazier and Aaron Judge, but I think he's going to be a very solid piece in that Yankees lineup. It's just health is going to be key with him, as it usually is.
Yeah,
Correct me if
he's
I'm wrong, but I think every year Hicks has played in the majors, he's been hurt every single year.
Brandon, get on that.
Six guys.
No, he has.
But in the meantime, Sean, go for it.
I was just say like he's a vital piece of this lineup because, and I guess any lineup you want a guy like Hicks who just gets on base, especially with the Yankees guys that hit bombs and all these extra base hits and whatnot. You need guys to be on base for it to really matter.
Yeah,
and yeah, he's just a big guy that just doesn't strike out very often, and we need that. And of course, stay healthy for the love of God.
Yeah. Brian, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm a big Hicks guy personally. I actually think that he should be batting leadoff because having a guy with that on base percentage, see, Jalen agrees. Yeah, he should 100% be batting leadoff. But yeah, he just brings so much to this team in that he's always on base, and not only that, but he always sees a ton of pitches. Like if he has less than 10 pitches in an at bat, it's like out of the ordinary.
No, he's unreal.
Like, a lot of 3-2 counts, a lot of pitches, and that's so important to getting to these good pitchers early.
Yeah. Jalen, before you do give your input on Aaron Hicks, see a couple questions here. Did Greg Allen make the team? No, but is he going to be in the alternate site?
No, he's. I think he was either alternate site or was optioned.
Okay. Well, either way, we'll get a chance.
Is he in the 40 man?
I think
no, they DFA'd him, and then he accepted,
Gotcha.
took him off the 40 man, and then he accepted an outright assignment to AAA.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Listen, we might see Greg Allen at some point this year if we get like a 2019 vibe going on.
I really hope
maybe.
Probably.
Jalen, what are you thinking about Hicks?
All right, hot take that's not really that hot. Aaron Hicks is my favorite Yankee currently on this team. I don't think that's that crazy just because he kind of fits the mold of like my favorite players in the past. Like I was a big Cano's my favorite player. They have like a very similar swing. Didi was probably my favorite Yankee when he was on the team. I just have something about these lefties or lefty hitters that just play with the game with, I hate the word swag, but that's kind of the only word you can use here.
So kind of like Steven Drew. I mean, left-handed like swag.
Bubba Crosby.
You just gave me a flashback.
Swag.
You just gave me a flashback I did not want to have.
So yeah. Anyways, before everyone throws up on the stream, I think Aaron Hicks. Again, I'm not going to sit up in here and say he's going to be, the starting center fielder for the American League All-Stars. But I do think he's another guy that has something to prove. Right? He's been injured like since he's become a Yankee, and I think he wants to finally prove that his contract is worth it. So I'm really excited to see what Hicks does. I think he's a guy that has the potential to hit 30 home runs. And does he do it necessarily? Maybe not. But especially in Yankee Stadium, like if you go back and rewatch that Yankee comeback when they were down like 7-2 in the seventh inning, their last inning of the Mets game, yeah, and he hits the 3-run home run to tie the game. That ball was like a line drive. It looked like somebody threw it on a line. It was a frozen rope that just grazed the top of the right field wall. If he hits like 5 of those, and plus the regular 20, like I don't know, man. I think he's better than Trout.
Wait, what? Whoa. Everything was going like so smoothly. I think he's
I just
better
wanted
than
to
Trout.
see. I just wanted to see if you guys would catch that. But yeah, no,
You want to
do
see if
think,
we were paying attention.
Yeah, I think Hicks should be the leadoff hitter. I say this every time I'm on with Pat.
Jalen.
Hicks should be the leadoff. DJ should be 2, and Judge should be 3. That's just what I think.
I was so ready for you guys to roast me on that. Let's go.
No,
No, that's
Brian, we
literally
never
the perfect. That's Aaron Hicks is the perfect leadoff hitter.
Yes,
Brandon.
exactly.
Aaron plus Hicks equals what?
And he's a switch hitter.
Mike Trout.
And he's a switch hitter.
Mike Trout does a switch hit now, does he?
Right,
That's
so
what I
he's better
said.
than Mike
Honestly,
Trout.
he
He's
probably
better than
could.
Mike Trout.
He
You're right,
probably
John.
could.
I'm just saying.
Brennan, give us your take.
I mean, as you said, Hicks in the 3-hole is the best possible thing because you don't want to stack your entire lineup with a bunch of power hitters. You want someone that can, you want someone that can split up Stanton and Judge because we've seen how they'll pitch around them and then you get whoever's in the 5th hole will not do well in the 5-hole. So, I mean, as long as Hicks is okay, because I do remember he said that he was hyperextending his elbow when he was swinging, and I was like, as long as his elbow's actually fine, as Pat said, he can hit 220, but have a 400 on base, and that's all you're asking for.
Yeah, I'd agree. Para, do you have any exact stats for Hicks? Because if you don't, we don't want it.
No, I do not.
All right,
That's
moving
kinda
on.
sad.
Para, do you
sad.
have anything to say about Hicks?
You guys pretty much covered it.
No
Para's
exact stats,
upset
darn.
now.
I feel bad.
How many
for Perry.
home- how
He's
many
going
home runs for
last.
Hicks?
All he does is just spew stats.
Why don't we let Para go first?
All
next
right,
round?
how about this?
We'll switch it up.
Para, introduce us to Aaron Judge.
Ooh.
Guys, we're looking at a guy with a big if on his shoulder being injured. So,
No, but you
Aaron
got to
Judge
do
is
it like me. Like, imagine you're me right now.
Yeah,
all
talk
right.
about Doritos.
And Pat, you have to act
Pringles.
like Pat.
Ranch
Sorry,
or nacho
Pringles.
cheese?
Okay.
So I got a big Pringle on my shoulder, guys. Sour cream and onion. So
Okay.
This is
Okay,
so
but-
weird. I don't.
let's talk about Aaron Judge. So he's leading into the season after being hurt again for the last 3 years. So honestly, Aaron Judge is going to finish top 3 in the MVP voting this year. So, and Judge is going to hit 50 home runs this year.
50.
I like it, Para.
How many hit by pitches, though, because you got all the exact stats? Any
20.
injuries?
20.
20 hit by pitches?
Yup.
That's a lot.
That's a
That's
lot.
about 8
Para,
injuries.
I
what?
hope,
What?
I hope,
I hope not.
That's
They'll
about
probably
8
have like 10
IL stints.
IL stints. Brian, you said 10?
I said 8,
Oh.
but close.
All right, Para.
He
You kinda
does get
lost
hit.
your
He
privilege,
does get
man.
hit a lot though.
I don't know about 20 though.
Wait,
20 is a
20's a little
ridiculous
bit, man.
amount.
If he
What?
I was
gets
just
it
talking out of
all
my. I was just talking out of my ass. So I'm sorry.
Okay, I can tell. So, all right, let's introduce ourselves to Aaron Judge here. Honestly, I would say before the injury last season, he was looking at an MVP
Oh, yeah.
campaign.
Oh,
Like,
he was running away. He was
easily.
running away with it. He was
No.
running away with it.
easily. So then after the injury, he came back, wasn't really himself. Even in the postseason, he ran into a couple of home runs. They were, listen, don't get me wrong, they were timely home runs. But other than that, he didn't really provide the Yankees with much offense. But I think we need to go into the season with the mentality that if Aaron Judge is healthy, he's gonna win. He's gonna win MVP. And me and Parra talked about this on the video that came out today. If Aaron Judge is healthy this season, there's no doubt in my mind that he's at least gonna be top 3 MVP. I mean, we're talking about a guy who can effortlessly hit 45 home runs this season. If he plays in at least like 140 games, that's light work for him. I mean, so when Parrish does 50 home runs, that's not that outrageous of a take because he did that in 2017 when he played hurt for over a month and a half, right? So it's not that ludicrous to think of. So I think that this is finally going to be the year Aaron Judge puts it all together. Like I always like to say, he has a can of Pringles on his shoulder. That's
God.
bro, but like I think he's the guy for it only because like after he got hurt last season, the entire Yankees fan base turned on him, right? And now he's got some new teeth. He's got a big, bright smile. He's going to show it off a lot this season. Expect a big season out of Judge. I think he's going to win his second American League.
Before Sean goes, I have actually a hot take. The Yankees, Judge and Stanton are going to finish 1 and 2 in MVP voting this year. The Yankees are going to have at least 3 players actually in the top 5 in MVP voting. Just want to put that out there.
I mean, yeah.
Wow.
I can see it.
Fair enough. Sean, what do you think about Judge?
Just gotta stay healthy, man. There's not really much you could say about a guy like that. I mean, like we all know he's elite. We all know he's one of the best players in the league. You just gotta stay healthy. He's clearly probably the most important player on this team. That's not named Garrett Cole.
Sure.
So just stay healthy. That's all I gotta say.
Brian, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to that. What else are you gonna say?
Bro,
we know
I
Aaron
mean,
Judge-
really, it's just
You
like
know-
Expert
He
analysis.
muted. I thought he was going
I'll
to drop
add
some
one
facts
thing.
on us.
I'll add
Ask
one thing. Is that even if he struggles offensively, he is probably the best or second best right fielder in defensive right fielder in the game. So you're not losing out by keeping him in the lineup, regardless, even if he's struggling. So that's always a good thing to have.
Sure. Before we get Jalen's take on Judge here, I see Mookie the Goat says, "What time are we tuning in tomorrow?" Mookie, my man, I think this is the real Mookie Betts, by the way. Pregame is going to start tomorrow on our YouTube channel at 12 p.m. Eastern time. It'll probably run like 20 to 30 minutes. Because I know like the pregame ceremonies begin at like 12:30. Also, like, let me touch on this really quick. Why are all the pregame ceremonies virtual? Like, there's 10,000 people in the crowd, and Bernie Williams is throwing out a virtual first pitch. What does that mean?
Literally, what it's going to mean is he will just be like in his backyard, and he's just going to throw the pitch.
They did it last year.
It was literally awful.
Didn't Fauci do it last year?
Well, Fauci didn't hit the strikes out.
Well, there's no fans there. I think that was like,
yeah.
It doesn't make sense, Pat.
There's 10,000 people there. Bernie Williams could be there.
Give him a COVID test. If he passes the COVID test, let him throw the first pitch. Like, what's the issue?
Listen, I will throw out the first pitch so that there's no concerns. Don't worry, I'll cover it.
Can you get your buddy Lindor to catch it, though?
You don't want that.
Wait, you know what's the benefit of having 10,000 fans? We can hear the Cracker Jacks guy loud and clear on TV.
That's true. That is true.
I forgot about all the people that are going to beat. Like, there's a girl that I know, and she used to work at Yankee Stadium. She worked at Yankee Stadium in Madison Square Garden. Like, think about it. Like, imagine not being able to, like, you're out of a job if there's no.
Oh yeah.
Bro, they better bring back the Cracker Jack guy. He better if I don't hear him, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Guys, let's get back to Aaron Judge.
Yeah, let me get my take about Judge.
Wait. But before we get back to Aaron Judge, I do have a short little story to tell.
Oh no!
Back in like 2017, I used to have a Twitter account at True Hennessy. Had a decent amount of followers. I decided to just mess around with Twitter one day. This was back when like Twitter like wasn't like full of like fake troll accounts and whatever. I tweeted out like very like professionally, like Cardi B was gonna be throwing out the first pitch for the Yankees. Bro, people ran with it. And like you needed to see the replies. Like, bro, first of all, she's not even a Yankee fan; she's like a Red Sox fan. So that like ticked people off like times.
Cardi
10,000.
B? Why do people know that?
Because apparently she said in like an interview or something. This was like when Cardi B was like popping, and she might be popping more now, but like whatever.
Did you just say popping?
Yeah, popping. Like, bro, like you're not popping, like you're popping. What's popping? Just like Jack Harlow, he's got options. But Jalen, let's get your take on Aaron Judge.
All right. I think the best thing about Aaron Judge, aside from what we know about his defense, about his arm, about his ability to hit home runs, is that he can also be a guy who hits for average. And I think people forget that. I don't remember when it tailed off, but like right around after the All-Star break in 2017 when he was going crazy, he was hitting like 350 or something like that the first half of that year. And then
I think it was like 330.
Yeah, and then he just started striking out a bunch, and it obviously, came back down. But he's a guy where he's not just home run or nothing like a lot of people think he is. He has the ability to hit the ball the other way, shoot gap to gap. He hits a lot of singles through the 5-6 hole. Like, he uses all parts of the field, which is a huge part of hitting for average. Now, I know average doesn't mean a ton, but if you have a high average, that's a good thing. I don't know why people are blaming people for having high averages. It just works the opposite, where if you have a low average, it doesn't necessarily tell the whole story. But having a high average is never a bad thing. It just means that you're getting on base more, whether it's hard hit or not. So I think Judge might have another year where we see him start off really hot, and I just think it just comes down to maintaining his health and being smart. And he talked about it. He's aware of it. He knows I'm not going to dive for balls that I can't get. I'm not going to slam into walls on home runs. Like what's that guy's name on the Rays? Meadows. Austin Meadows hit the home run off Garrett Cole in Game 5.
George gave himself a concussion trying to catch it.
He jumped into the. I know it's not his home field, but like he was not catching that ball. There's no reason to jump, and he jumped right into the wall. Like that's like things like that can be limited, and that could potentially keep him in the lineup for 20, 25 more games. So,
sure. Brandon, go for it.
I mean, didn't he hurt himself in Tampa because he wasn't wearing the right shoes? So, like,
apparently,
the first thing is make sure he wears the right shoes. And second of all, honestly, remember when Reese Hoskins, like, broke his jaw and he had to wear, like, the helmet with, like, both flaps? Like, honestly, give him both wrist, elbow guards, and everything. Just do anything you can to keep him healthy, because when he's healthy, he is – I wouldn't say now the best player because that's Trout, but he is honestly, the second best player in baseball when he is fully healthy.
Ooh, I don't know.
Mookie.
Mookie's so good.
Yeah, no,
Mookie's really so good.
He's unreal.
So then number 3, but we just need him to stay healthy, and this is a big year for him because if he can't stay healthy again this year, then you're gonna have to start thinking, are we going to pay him? Because I don't know, but I don't think you should drop $200 million on a guy that can't stay.
They're
going
gonna pay him. They're gonna pay him no matter what.
They're gonna pay him, but I think it's a difference between like 220 plus versus less than 200.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
Also, I give Judge top 5. I don't know about top 3.
Bro,
We'll
I'd
see.
give him top 5 what? MVP or
no, just
in
best
baseball.
players.
Oh no! I mean, when he's locked in though, like we're talking top 3. Like if we're
That's
going
fair.
based on like 2017 Judge, like bro, like we're talking
like going
top 2
in.
at that
Yeah,
point.
on you can't pitch to him. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Juan
If
Soto's
he's hitting
really good.
330,
He's gonna be the best player in baseball soon.
Yeah, I
bro,
agree.
Soto's
Juan
really
Soto's
good.
unreal. Parrot, give us some exact stats on Judge. Go.
285, 52 home runs,
What just
130
happened?
home runs.
Did you see him staring?
He
He was
went-
like 285.
No, he's locked in. Parrot's locked in. You could say he's locked in.
Honestly, I'm making a bold take tomorrow. Judge hits 2 home runs.
I like that.
Oh, I like it.
Parrot, I like it.
There we go.
I love
That's
that.
better than
Okay.
20 hit by pitches.
All right, guys, we
That was absurd.
are an hour in already. We still got to hit the rotation and the bullpen. We're not going to go through everybody in the bullpen. We'll kind of speed through the rotation a little bit. I
Just
don't know
do
if
like
you
a
guys are
general.
getting antsy, but
Just general.
let's go for it. But before we do that, let's hit the bench really quickly. The bench going into the regular season is going to be Mike Talkman, B. Gardner,
Don't mention the other guy.
B. Gardner.
Please don't mention the other guy.
T. Wade, and Kawagashioka. Listen, 2 out of those 4 guys are not my friends. We're not cool.
And just for everyone to know, Pat has a lot of friends.
Okay, but
So many.
Are
it's
you
like
sure about
Brett
that?
Gardner.
I mean,
is
but here's
like
the thing,
up
guys.
here, and then Tyler Wade's like down here.
Guys, I know you guys like my. I'm not even gonna say the joke. It's fine. No,
No,
you
please
guys aren't
don't.
gonna like
Please
it. No,
don't.
it's fine.
My ears
But-
already hurt.
I mean, based on those 4 guys, who do you think? I mean, we know the answer is gonna be Brett Gardner, but I guess I'll go the opposite route of this question then. Who do we think is gonna be the most interchangeable on that bench throughout the season?
Tyler Wade.
Yeah.
Tyler Wade. By a lot, I think.
Talkman
I
is-
just
Okay, Benji, Talkman is not injured.
Oh
Wasn't
my
he just
God. Yo,
raking
yo,
in batting practice today?
Yeah,
What
that's
is it
not
with the
true.
chat and saying one time they said, Clint Frazier was injured when he wasn't. Like, start bringing up sources.
it's reverse psychology.
pop.
That's
Stir the pot.
no, I think Tyler Wade because think about it. There's more options for Tyler Wade to not be on this lineup past April than there is for Talkman.
Guys, apparently I have to box 2 out of the 4 people on the bench. I believe the first fight against Tyler Wade is going to be happening 4th of July.
That's a first
so
round
stay tuned
knockout
for
for
that,
you.
guys. Oh, bro, that's a first round knockout easy. Just saying.
I think Gardy
okay.
might get you though.
Guardy would
Yeah,
go
that
to
one's gonna go
distance
the
with you.
distance.
But that's why the Wade is like a warm up one.
Okay.
You know, like
Alright.
honestly, like maybe before Wade, I might like spar with like Ronald Torres or something. Like,
Therese might get you.
He
Bro,
might.
don't-
you guys
don't
are the
sleep
same
on
height.
little
You guys
guys.
are the same height.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine, bro. He doesn't
That's
have
not
the
that
quickness
tall.
like I do.
Derek Dietrich's going to be
Brian,
in Tyler
what?
Wade's spot.
What did
What did Brian say? What did Brian
Brian
say?
said I'm not that tall.
How tall are you?
You're not.
Isn't Torres like 5'6"?
Let me look.
Yeah. So you
Okay,
Are
I'm
you
taller than
5'6"?
him. No, I'm not. I'm
I
literally
just
How tall
like
are you?
received a
five.
message.
Bro,
Guys,
I'm like
all this
5'9"
chat
on a
just
good
texted
day.
According
me.
to
He wants to have a boxing
Google,
match
he's
with Brian.
5'8".
He's
Yeah, I don't
not.
believe that
That's
for a
fake
second.
news. But
Stand
let's
back
get
to
back
back.
on track, guys. Let's get back on track. Let's move on to the pitching now, because like I said, we're an hour in. This is a fun stream. I hope you guys are having a good time, chat.
Did you
Rotation.
skip DH?
Did we skip Stanton?
Yeah.
Wow.
You
I'm
did.
leaving. No, I'm
That's a good,
This
no,
is
but
not
that's a
my-
good thing. That's
I
a good
failed.
thing. The fact that we're not talking about Stanton means that he's doing what he needs to be
Yeah,
doing.
exactly.
All right, sure. Let's
If there
let's
was,
touch on Stanton. Let's touch on Stanton because
You
he's
know
a
what I
really
mean? So-
important key to
Do
this.
you want
lineup.
exact stats?
Yes.
At the end, you wrap it all up with the exact stats, Brian. Stanton is coming off a year just like Judge. Didn't really do too well, right? I mean, just in the sense of he wasn't on the field, and the best. What's that saying? The best
Yes.
ability is availability.
there you go.
There
Wow.
we go. There we go, chat. Pat, you were out. You were 5'2" without
You
your weight.
like trash talking chat.
Okay. Judge is 5'2" too. Just saying. Giancarlo Stanton came back in time for the postseason. Absolutely tore it up. Like we're talking a historical postseason for Giancarlo Stanton. He was the only one who actually put up any significant numbers. Like especially if we look at that Rays series, without Giancarlo Stanton in game 2, the Yankees would have no runs, literally no runs. So I think a lot of people look over him kind of like we did as to how important he is in this lineup, just because he's kind of like a copy and paste of Aaron Judge, right?
Everything's planned. That was all on purpose.
Bro, like we're pulling strings here. It's okay.
Good job there.
But yeah, I'm expecting a big season out of Giancarlo Stanton. I think he really stays healthy. I don't know if that's because of the yoga with Aaron Judge, but I'm very confident in both of those two. And I think they might have like identical years just because like they're almost like the same type of hitter. I could see both of them batting like 280 with 45 plus. Thank you.
Wait, are we talking like exact stats, like para-exact stats?
No, I'm saying like in the same range. Like both of them are capable of putting up the same numbers, same range of numbers.
Man.
Do you guys remember when we had Matt Holliday in 2017 and him and Brett Gardner would like every time Matt Holliday hit a home run, Brett Gardner would hit a home run and vice versa?
Didn't he
Yeah.
get
I
like
think
mono
we
and
could
like was out for like
we
the
could see Matt Holliday got mono.
Yeah, that's why he was out for a while.
That's really embarrassing for a grown ass man to get mono. But yeah, anyways.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but Sam's like 22 years old, so it's different.
Matt Holliday's about to release a diss track on you, bro. Wait,
I would not listen to that
No, I know you don't want any smoke with Matt Holliday.
And cook
at
him.
all.
Does anybody else have anything to say about Giancarlo before we move on?
MVP.
I mean,
Whoa,
I
okay,
think
you can't just say that and then like, okay, move on. Go a little bit deeper, Jalen.
I think what we saw in the playoffs. Hey, first of all, that's what she said. Second
yeah.
of all,
Whoa, pause. Shout out to Lori C with the $5 dono.
Thank you, Lori.
Let's go. Lori's the MVP of the night so far. How about
There
that?
we
Brian
go.
can get his first meal from
that's
Chick-fil-A
what
with that.
that was the that was the
Chick-fil-A's
foreshadowing.
expensive,
I was
bro.
saying MVP about Lori, not about.
Shout out to Lori. Thank you. We're trying our best tonight. I mean, it's a lot to do the 6 of us, but honestly, like I think it's kind of going pretty well tonight. So chat, if you guys like this, maybe we'll do it like more often. I don't know. We'll see.
Every
But,
night?
Jalen, go on.
Aw.
Definitely not every night.
Instead
Every
of
night.
once a month, we're gonna do it once a week.
Once a
see
day.
about
Hold
that.
on.
Once a day.
Once an hour.
Pre-game.
Why don't we just do 24/7 lives
Yeah, why
like
don't we
this
just
all
never
the
get
time? Let's just
I'm gonna-
never do anything else with our lives.
Bro, don't tempt me because my bed is right there. Like
Bro,
Jalen, I know
TBT
your bed is right there.
My bed's
like,
right there too.
And call
Brian,
TBT
I
to-
could see your entire bed. Like we could do this,
You
guys.
can't see
My
anything.
bed's right there. I can see it.
TBT
Ryan's
to when
actually,
Pat
Ryan's
called me
actually
at 3
laying down
o'clock.
right now.
Yeah. I'm in
TBT
bed.
to when Pat called me at 3 o'clock in the morning. He said, "Get ready, we're doing a 72-hour live stream."
Was it that like when we got eliminated? You're just like, yo, let me just call Para. We're doing like
No.
a 24-hour live stream.
No,
Whatever
I
it
don't
was.
think I think it was
Well,
after
one
one of
game.
the Cleveland games at like 1 a.m.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
one of
the
them.
Cleveland
But
games.
guys, another dono hype. Shout out to Alex with a $4.99
Hey.
dono. Why do you look like Garrett Cole? Your hair reminds me of him. I've been told I'm the Walmart Garrett Cole. So there's that. We also have like Dollar Tree
Dollar
Garrett
Tree.
Cole. I've been called Dollar Tree Andrew Benintendi. There was one
Ooh,
other
I like
guy,
that
too.
one.
Yeah, it's a good one, right? But yeah,
There's a
Dollar
lot
Tree,
of-
Asher, Wojciechowski.
Somebody commented
Yes.
you look like Johnny Damon.
I saw that too tonight. That's a first.
That I don't see.
Yes, hot take. Pat is Johnny Damon. That one I don't see. That
You have
one I
a
don't
bad
see.
driving
How did you
record?
pull that up so fast?
Do you have a bad driving record then?
I don't know. I really don't. John Blom says, "Do you sell unhinged T-shirts?" Yeah, John. Actually, Brian is wearing an unhinged hoodie right now. Brian, that's a great hoodie.
Stand up,
Uh,
Brian.
He
can
poked
see
out
it
his
from
chest like
where
a
I am.
proud second grader.
Unhingedclothing.shop if you guys want to purchase any unhinged T-shirts between $10 to $15. Also, chat. What I'm planning on doing every Friday for the next, I believe, 4 to 5 weeks, we're gonna be releasing a new Unhinged Yankees themed T-shirt.
Yeah. Ooh,
once a
there we
week,
go.
every
There we
Friday.
go.
Oh,
So stay tuned for this T-shirt coming this
can't
Friday.
complain.
Show you guys tomorrow night for the post game. I'll show you guys the first shirt that's coming out on Friday.
Nice.
It's gonna be Yankees/podcast theme, so stay tuned for that. But let's move on to the rotation here. Speaking of Garrett Cole, Garrett Cole
Wow.
is the ace in the bro. I'm on a roll tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say
just
that
like
one.
Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
I kind of rhymed there too. You see what I did? Roll
All
like
right,
that.
No,
now you're-
stop.
now you
Stop.
ruined
While
it.
you're at it.
You ruined
Keep
it.
it
You're
going.
on a good roll.
So
rolling.
yeah, Garrett Cole is coming into his second season with the Yankees, first full season because last year was 60 games, and his first season with fans in attendance. I think that this is huge for Garrett Cole only because I think, bro, I know I've been saying this about a lot of guys, but I think we could see like a career year out of Cole this year. And that's not just because a lot of people tell me I look like him. It's because like he's just going to be comfortable. he has experience with the AL East. He has experience pitching in Yankee Stadium. He's just going to be so comfortable, and he's going to feed off of the fans. I mean, opening day tomorrow, there's going to be 10,000 people in attendance. That's more than enough to hype this man up to want to pitch out of his mind. We saw in spring training, there was one guy in the outfield hyping him up, and he went out there and pitched like his hair was on fire. So I'm very excited to see Garrett Cole this season. I know I said Aaron Judge MVP, right? Garrett Cole Cy Young. By far,
Easily.
it's not even going to be a
I can see that.
competition.
Easily.
He's going to
100%.
run away with it and be. He's going to have one of the best seasons of his
Who was
career.
the Cy Young? It was Bieber.
Yeah,
Bieber.
Last
Yeah,
year,
But
yeah,
we
Bieber.
exposed
That was
him. So
the fake Central Division Cy Youngs last year.
Great
Yeah.
album, by the way.
that's
Great
the other
album.
thing. That's the other thing about Cole. I think people are overlooking. Right? He had to. I know everyone kind of did, but he got used in such high volume last year. Like whenever we had cancellations, they would be like, "Okay, Cole's starting the next series." He doesn't have to pitch against the same like 6 teams this year. And I think the fact that he's going to be able to pitch against the AL Central a little bit more, he's gonna get to pitch against weaker teams that are not just his division constantly, that are going to get to see him for the 4th, 5th time around. That's going to be huge. So
I agree. Sean, what do you think about Cole going in this year?
I mean, just like you said, Cy Young, man. I mean, like, especially in
Cy
front of the fans, like, he just, yeah, he's just gonna be hyped up. I'm expecting like maybe like a month to really get it going. Like, we're gonna get some good starts, but like once he gets like in that middle part of the season, I think he's just gonna be on a tear.
Yeah, sure.
The home runs, of course, a little,
Okay.
not too worried about it, but
Let's do this in
It's
a
hard
very
one,
simple way. Raise your hand if you think Garrett Cole is not going to win Cy Young this season.
you know what? Can I say why?
Sure.
I think he's going to win MVP, and I don't think they'll give him both awards.
Wait, okay, that's not
Whoa,
happening.
whoa, whoa.
Because, bro, he's
I
not
do
going to win MVP.
if you
and
win
not Cy
MVP,
Young.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think they're going to give him MVP, and I think
Brandon, look up if that's ever happened. A player wins MVP but not Cy Young.
I can tell you right now, Brendan, it hasn't. This is going to be a groundbreaking year.
Didn't that happen to
And I-
Kershaw?
First.
No, he won MVP.
No, he won. He
He
won.
won
He
it.
won. They
Yeah.
won both. I think Garrett Cole's going to win MVP, and I think our Cy Young is going to be. I'm just messing with you guys. Sorry, excuse me.
Masahiro Tanaka.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to win Cy Young. I'm just messing with you, but I do think he's going to get MVP votes. That is a hot take that I have.
That's fair. No, that's fair. So basically, we all think Garrett Cole's wins Cy Young this year.
Yeah, I have a
I'm
question.
Guys,
so
in the
excited.
past, there's been
I've-
10 pitchers that have won MVP and Cy Young in the same year.
No, I know, but we were talking like.
You're saying if they won MVP
Yeah.
and not Cy Young, which is
Yeah.
like
It's okay,
impossible
Barry.
to do.
Parra, give us an exact ERA for Cole this year.
230.
Also, how many fastballs
What
is
just
he gonna
happened?
throw? How many
I love when he
fastballs?
looks into the camera.
How many
230.
fastballs is he gonna throw?
Wait, what?
230 for
that's
everything.
year. No, 2.3 ERA.
No, but Brandon asked you.
I asked you how
another
many
question.
fastballs is he gonna throw this year?
I don't know, Brandon. Shut up.
Billion.
Hashtag shut up, Brandon in the chat.
Guys, I got a question for you. I got a question for you. What's
for
the
it.
over/under on G-Man Choi home runs off Garrett Cole this year?
Oh god.
The over under is 5.
What are you
and I'm
setting
taking
the over under at?
5.
Over/under's 5.
Holy.
Oh, I
I'd
take
say it's at, like,
under. No, it's
20.
under.
But do you
He's
guys
not
think that
hitting-
Garrett
he's not
Cole's gonna
hitting
have
one.
this? He's gonna have a streak of giving up a home run in every single start.
No. He
No,
broke
I mean-
that. That didn't happen. He ended that when he did the Orioles complete game.
Well,
Wait,
with Cole-
guys. I don't know if you guys remember from the ALDS. Michael Johnston is a Rays
I
fan.
don't remember him.
He's back in the chat. Shout out to Michael Johnston.
I respect this guy a lot.
I
do, yeah.
respect the hell out of him because when like the ALDS was going on, like he was the only Rays fan in our chat, and
Remember
honestly,
that.
like, I don't remember him being like toxic at all.
No,
Like,
never.
after the
never.
series, like
No,
Goes
like,
hard for his
oh,
team.
Good series, my man. Yeah, like
Yeah.
shout out to Michael Johnston.
Yeah, no.
yeah, don't be mean to him. He's a Rays fan, but he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Was somebody saying something about
Yeah.
Cole?
No, I said with Cole is the issue with Choi was he just kept throwing him breaking pitches that he would murder. I mean, and he couldn't hit the fastball. But also with Cole, he always seems to start a little bit slow in the beginning of the year. Everyone panics and then he turns it on. I mean, in 2019, I think in May he had like a 4 ERA, and then we all know the rest was history. I think it was 26 straight starts, or like it was like a 26 game win streak.
Yeah, something
But-
ludicrous.
I think he's gonna. Honestly, I don't think he's gonna start slow. I think he's gonna have that's too hot of a take.
Say
Just
it.
say
Give
it.
it.
Sub 2 ERA.
I like
This the
that.
whole season.
No, for two
Parra,
starts.
give us an exact number.
2.3.
Just for the first half of the season.
Damn, that's hard.
But the whole season's not.
You've been spewing numbers all night.
This is easy, man. What are you talking about?
I mean, you could give us DJ LeMahieu's exact hit count, but you can't give us Garrett Cole's first half ERA. Whatever. Moving on to number 2. I guess we'll go like in the order where they're starting the season, not necessarily the order we think they're going to be in. So Corey Kluber is starting the second game of the season, so we'll consider him the number 2 in the rotation starting the year. Listen, hasn't pitched really since 2019. He pitched an inning in 2020 with the Rangers. We're not really going to talk about that. It means nothing. But he did get to put on the uniform, so there's that. But yeah, Corey Kluber, veteran right-handed pitcher. Honestly, I'm kind of high on Kluber going into this year, but I think by the end of the season, he will be the third man in the rotation. But we'll talk more about that when we get to Jameson Taillon. But I think Kluber's going to have a solid year. I think it'll all depend on his health, much like a lot of other guys in the rotation. But I think he's going to be in the high 3s as far as the ERA goes. But I think that's going to be solid. Like, that's all you're kind of going to need. As long as it's not like above like the max I would take for Corey Kluber's ERA this season is like a 4.1. Anything over that I wouldn't be satisfied with it. But before anyone else makes a comment about Corey Kluber, I want to say this. Regardless of how he pitches this season, I think that this is Corey Kluber's only season with the New York Yankees. If he pitches very well, he's going to want more years, more money. The Yankees are not going to give it to him. And if he pitches bad, the Yankees definitely aren't going to bring him back. So I think that this is Corey Kluber's only season as a Yankee, regardless of performance. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because, I mean, next year, think about it, we're going to have a healthy Sevy. We're still going to have Taillon, Montgomery, and then hopefully Devi. So I don't think there's really a spot for Kluber. And then as for this year, yeah, Herman too, of course. We have a lot of pitchers, actually.
For once.
Yeah, right? It's like, it's kind of good when you forget one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm expecting a good season. I mean, nothing crazy. I mean, I'm like maybe like number 3 numbers. Like I'm not expecting like Cy Young, Kluber or anything like that. But it's nice to have like that experience and playoff experience.
Sure. Brian.
Yeah, I mean, as
You
long
kind
as
of
he
look
gets-
like Corey Kluber, Brian.
No,
A little
No.
bit. If you squint your eyes.
no, don't reach.
You
for
close
All
them,
right.
maybe.
What?
All right, go for it, Brian.
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's all about health for this guy. If he stays healthy, we know what we're going to get out of him. He's going to be a solid pitcher. He's not going to light it up or anything. He's not going to be Garrett Cole, but he's going to keep you in the game, and he's going to, pitch lots of innings. And that's really what we need from him, be number 3.
Jalen?
Yeah, I think I like your take that he's not going to be a Yankee past this year. I think they kind of signed him. They both are kind of knowing that. I think he's probably coming here. I don't want to say to ring chase, but he's coming here because he knows that the Yankees have a possibility to make a deep run in the playoffs and possibly be World Series contenders. And we wanted a guy who's trying to prove himself and maybe get the last contract of his career. So I think it's a win-win situation. He comes back and proves himself in a big market, and he's already getting paid $11 million. So there's not really a loss for him in any part of this whole ordeal. The $11 million is already guaranteed, but he's 34 years old, I want to say 30, 34, 35.
Yeah, he's not that
So
old. I think a
he
lot of
could
people
get-
think he's older.
Yeah, he could get another nice 3-year contract with a team and get paid for the rest of his career. So I think that's probably what he's going to end up doing. I love this idea of signing guys. That my New York Giants, if you have any football fans in the chat, the Giants are doing something very similar where we're signing guys to 1-year deals, kind of prove it. And if it works out, then great. Maybe we don't re-sign you, but you gave us good value for that year. And if not, then there's no risk. Like, we just let go of you. So I really like this idea. I don't know why we weren't doing this with starting pitching before. So I'm excited for Kluber.
Brandon?
I mean, you guys have pretty much all said it. I mean, we're just expecting Kluber to come out there, if he can, eat innings as much as he can and just be that veteran pitcher that we need, someone that can really follow Garrett Cole. Because, I mean, last year, Tanaka was kind of up and down. Paxton was awful, and then we had Happ. So we can just have a consistent pitcher to follow Cole. That's really all we're looking for. And in the playoffs, I mean, even if we get maybe like 80% of what Corey Kluber used to be, I don't know about you guys, but I would take that any day of the week.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, because
Sure.
80% of Corey Kluber would kind of be like the area that I mentioned, like between like a 3.5 and a 3.8 ERA, I guess, right? Nothing above a 4, but that would kind of be like 80% of Corey Kluber. Speaking of stats, Parra, give us an exact ERA for Corey Kluber this year.
3.8 going 12-6.
Oh, he got a record too.
Wow.
It's reasonable.
Parra had some time to think about that one.
We have
all right,
to
cool.
make sure we have these on record somewhere so we can see how close Parra was.
Oh yeah,
No, I
someone's gotta
know.
write these down.
No, yeah,
Honestly,
it's-
I'm actually excited to see Corey Kluber pitch for the Yankees because we saw him how he pitched with the Indians, and the guy hasn't really pitched since 2018, 2019 because he's been battling a lot of injuries. So I would love to see him prove it because we need a rotation that can actually pitch during the playoffs, not struggle early on and then we have to go to the bullpen early on. So honestly, I'm excited for this rotation this year.
Fair enough. I mean, listen, looking at the Yankees rotation, it's probably the deepest we've seen in a very long time. So the man who's starting Game 3, Domingo Germán. He's a controversial guy, I guess. But hopefully his past mistakes are behind him, and kind of just looking forward to his on the field performance. He had an amazing spring, beat out Devi Garcia for that 5th spot in the rotation. Well deserved too. I mean, obviously we're all rooting for Devi just because he's like our guy. But Domingo Germán earned it. All right, we'll leave it at that. Listen, I think the expectations are really high for Domingo going into the season, just because, I mean, we heard what Brian Cashman said about him earlier on in the offseason before acquiring Tyone and Kluber. He said that Domingo Germán's a number 2 at worst. So the Yankees obviously still have faith in him as far as that goes. But personally, I'm not that high on Domingo Germán. I think he's the odd man out right now. And I think when Luis Severino does return from his injury, he's going to be replacing he's going to be replacing Domingo Germán in the rotation. He's probably going to be sent to AAA. If he's having a good season, they might trade him in a package for something that they need, whether if it's a reliever or another starter, I don't know. But I was just on MYY Recaps channel, and Derek predicted, like KG Baseball said, Germán to go 20-6 with, I believe, a sub-3 ERA. I don't think that's going to happen. I have Domingo Germán kind of above 4. I'm not sure what his record's going to be, but I don't think he's going to have that great of a year. Sean, what do you think?
I mean, what was it, 2019, where he was like the king of run support? Like his wins were racked up, but like his ERA
He
was
had
in like the
18
4s.
wins in 2019.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be fooled by a really good spring. Like you said, I think he's definitely the odd man out when Severino's all ready to come back and healthy. But yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to hope that he gives us good innings and whatnot. So we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not very high on Domingo either. But I do think it's important to stress that he's probably on a short leash. If he starts to struggle, I think they'll probably just bring Devi up because I think they want Devi to get the innings. They want him to get the experience. And I think overall he's probably got a higher ceiling. So if we do see Germán struggle, I think we see Devi sooner rather than later.
Agree. Jalen?
Yeah, I'm a little bit higher on Domingo than I think I should be. I think seeing him come back this spring training, just seeing how, I guess, good he looked without really having much MLB experience beforehand, really excited me. So I don't know. I'm not really expecting much from him. I'm not going to comment on like his character or anything because it's in the past. The Yankees are giving him another chance. So all we can really talk about is just baseball side of things. It's well documented how I think we all feel about whatever happened. But I do think it was very encouraging to see how little rust he had coming back after all that time.
Sure.
I mean, I think if he can just hold it down until they feel like they're ready to call Davey up, then I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think his spring performance was impressive, most importantly because he was not looking good at all in the Dominican Winter League. And then he kind of just shows up to spring training and looks like a completely different pitcher. So it's a great thing to see there. But, Brandon, what do you think about Germán this season?
I mean, I think you guys have kind of said it. I think someone also said it in the chat. I don't know who it was. Oh, yeah, I think it was Borg or Brog, whatever you say. He said Germán is kind of the definition of when you don't know where you're going to get each start. It's kind of the deal with him. But his stuff, you can't question his stuff. I mean, I think the stat in 2018 or 2019, he had one of the best swing and miss stuff in the game. I think it was Chris Sale was 1 and he was number 2. So he has great stuff. It's just, can you keep the ball in the park? But I mean, if he can give us anything close to what he gave before he got hurt in 2019, until like Sevi could potentially come back. What was it, June? I would take that. I mean, we just need a consistent rotation. But as you guys said, I do think he's going to be on a short leash because for the first time ever, we have depth.
Sevi's coming back. Oh
No,
my
yeah,
God.
we'll
We're winning the
touch
World
on that.
Series. I don't
We'll
care
touch
about
on that in a minute. Before Parra gives us his exact stats, Sean, I believe you're leaving us for the evening.
I have to, yeah.
That's okay, Sean.
No,
That's
it's
okay.
been a pleasure, boys. This was a lot of fun. I hope Chad
Yeah.
enjoyed.
No, I'll remember this next time, Sean. It's okay
we
that
did.
you're
Yeah,
not
of
going the
course.
full 5 hours with us tonight. It's okay. It's
5 hours. So maybe I'll come
He's
for
taking
the
a half
back.
day, guys.
All right, Sean. We'll see you next time. Bye,
All
Sean.
right, see you guys.
Oh, thank God he's gone. So, Parra, give us some exact stats for Domingo Germán.
A 4 ERA, 15-10.
Okay.
I would
I'll
definitely
take
take that.
I'd
I'll
take
take
that in a
that.
heartbeat.
We got 2 starters left. Let's try to run through these. Oh, shout out to Erica Garcia, $4.99 dono. Let's go. Shout out to Erica. Can I be a guest on the show someday? Good job, guys. Let's go, Yanks. Erica, yeah. I mean, I think we're gonna be doing like a bunch of like viewer interaction this season, mainly because like we have the Discord now, so we
Yeah,
have
the voicemails
contact with you
too.
guys. Yes, chat. I don't know how many of you guys were around last season, but we do have a voicemail number that we are going to be using. I will keep it on the screen during pre-games and post-games. You guys could call, leave voicemails. We'll play them pre-game, post-game. I don't really know. You guys could send songs like Ben Wilson, Higashioka,
That's
boom, boom,
still the
boom.
greatest voicemail. I think it's the only real good one.
Higashioka.
But yeah, we're
Boom.
definitely going to be figuring out times to like bring viewers on and stuff. It's going to be fun. But I guess we'll talk about Jordan Montgomery now, right? Jordan Montgomery had a disappointing season last year, just because there was a few clunkers. But I think he kind of proved himself in ALDS Game 4, the pitcher that he can be for the New York Yankees. And that's why I think a lot of people are very high on him going into this year. So personally, I think Montgomery's going to have a pretty similar year to Corey Kluber, and kind of like be one of the best fourth guys in the rotation in baseball. I think that's not really that much of a hot take. What do you guys think?
I'm a big Monty guy. Well, we all
That's
know
my
Parra
guy.
thinks he looks like Andy Pettit.
Oh, he's Andy Pettit, right,
So-
Parra?
That's my
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
But yeah, I'm very high on Monty. He was coming back from injury last year. You got to give him some time to recover. I think he steps up in a big way this year, and I think that he can be, like you said, solidify himself as a really solid number 4.
Sure. Jalen?
I agree.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
that's
Parra, I was
crazy.
going to have you go last as usual if you want to go now, Parra.
Parra
No,
changed his
actually,
name.
Go for it,
Go,
Parra.
Parra.
No,
Go,
Parra,
Parra.
you got this.
Go,
Come on.
Parra.
No, honestly, like Brian said, he did come off injury, and he did really help himself in the playoffs last year. He came up clutch when we needed him. So, Monty, like I said, he's my Andy Pettit of our generation. So, Monty, he's gonna go, let's say, 16-8, and he's gonna have a 3.1 ERA.
Wow.
Okay. Whoa, all right, Parra, that might be a little
That's
bit too generous,
groundbreaking.
but I just
Hot
felt the ground shake a
takes.
little bit. Just saying. Jalen, go for it.
I love it. I love the energy.
I like Parra's energy on this one. I think Monty's gonna have a really solid year. I think he's gonna be him. I don't think he needs to be Garrett Cole. He doesn't need to be Chris Sale. Like he doesn't need to be our ace. He doesn't need to be our two guy. But my hot take, if we're gonna wash away all of the like just random, yeah, he's gonna be solid, whatever. My hot take is that he's going to pitch. He's going to start the game that clinches us the World Series.
Wow.
Wow, I love
That's
it.
hot. Jalen,
No, that's not.
Put some
I'm
water
not
on
saying
my
he's
head.
going to pitch Game 7. I'm just saying he's going to start the game that clinches. That could mean that we win in 5 games and he starts Game 5.
I like it.
I'm just
I really like
saying
it.
I could see him if we're talking about Andy Pettit. Pettit was always the guy that pitched those games, or whether it was like a rubber match where it was 1-1 and then he pitched Game 7. So I think Monty's going to get the ball. I'm predicting us to win the World Series in 6 games, so I think he gets Game 6, and we win the World
Against who?
Series. The Dodgers. Nobody's beating the Dodgers. I don't care what anyone says.
Brandon, what are you thinking?
I think you said it perfect. What he can do is what he showed in ALDS Game 4. So, I mean, if you can get that every 5th day, then the Yankees have if everyone pitches to their potential, the Yankees will have the best rotation in baseball. And then don't forget we get Sevi back. But with Montgomery as the
Sevi back.
the
That's
fifth, I
crazy.
believe is the 5th starter, you're just expecting him to
Jalen's
give you like a
so
good 5-6 innings. Because normally you can kind of use the bullpen a little bit more on that fifth starter day, because then hey, you got your ace next game, so you got some cushion. So I mean, I'm looking forward. I think Montgomery's going to be at the end of the year. Hot take, the second best pitcher in our rotation.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I could definitely see that.
I like some of these comments that we're getting. I just realized we went an hour and a half of just Yankees. That's crazy. Listen, chat, expect a lot more Yankees talk out of us now that the season started. We actually have some stuff to talk about. We'll still intermingle like Chick-fil-A talk and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, really quick.
I don't know.
I think it just set in that the Yankees are back tomorrow.
Yeah,
I know.
It just set in for me.
It's
And
ridiculous.
I'm so excited. That's
Brian, how excited are you, Brian?
So
That's the worst. But let's address the fifth, the guy who's going to start last in the Yankees rotation to start the season, and the guy who I think by the end of the season is going to be our number 2, and I think that's Jameson Taillon. Listen, looking at Taillon right now, the way to describe him. Wait, I said J Hap?
No, I did.
I was like, what? I didn't think I was that bad.
We're gonna trade for him.
So I think the thing with Taillon is I think his ceiling is higher than Kluber, but I also think his floor is lower than Kluber. It's going to be very interesting to see him come back this season, especially with the new arm delivery that he's working with. Might take him a little bit of time to get used to in like a regular season situation, but I think he's going to have a very solid year all around, to be honest. I mean, we're looking at a guy who, before the injury, he was very solid with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now he's reunited with Garrett Cole, his boy. Cole's going to be a great benefit for him, especially working back from the injury. And I'm just expecting big things out of Taillon this year. I think, especially moving forward, I think he's under team control for the next 2 years as well. So I think that he's going to be the Yankees' solidified number 2 moving forward, right behind Garrett Cole. And he's going to come in clutch this season. But same situation as Kluber. He just needs to stay healthy.
I love it. Yeah, I would agree. I think Taillon is probably my biggest question mark in this rotation, and it really centers around his health. Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to stay healthy enough to be there the whole year? And if he does, like you said, I think he's our number 2. I think he's probably ahead of Severino, even when he comes back. So I'm very, very excited and cautiously optimistic about what we're going to see from him this year.
Yeah, Farrah?
Taillon is going to be our. Let's go. You ready for the stats?
Oh, here
what
we go.
did you just wait? What did you just say?
He was going to say something, but he's like, let me just go right into the stats.
Oh, I
Go
thought
for
you
it,
said
Farrah.
something that I didn't understand. All right, go.
It's going to be a bold take for Taillon.
Oh.
Be like those.
15-6 with a 2.9 ERA.
I
Ooh,
like it.
that.
Okay, I'll take
Not
it.
too crazy.
I'll take it. Jalen, go for it.
I agree with you, Pat, but I also disagree with you.
That's fine.
I do agree that he's going to solidify himself as the number 2 starter in this rotation. What I disagree with is that he has a lower floor than Kluber. The only reason I say that, I understand why you say that, and it's not like a crazy take. The only reason I disagree that he has a lower floor is because he, not only is he younger, but he's been like kind of dominant when he was healthy. Like when he's good, he's good. And they were looking at him as like when they were comfortable trading Garrett Cole because they're like, this is going to be our next ace. Obviously, he dealt with a lot of stuff, and that never really ended up happening. J-Hap. It still haunts us from time to time. But no, I genuinely think Taillon, his floor is just going to be what we kind of projected for Kluber, like that 3.5, 3.8 type area. And I think his ceiling is ridiculous. Like he could be like a 1A type guy. Obviously, no one's overtaking Garrett Cole as the ace, but he could be that guy that's like what we wanted Sevy to be all these years. And obviously, you guys keep seeing me get extremely excited. I keep forgetting that Sevy's coming back. Like,
No, it's ridiculous.
I don't think people realize how insane that is. We have the most rotational depth that we've ever had. Clark
It's
Schmidt
unreal.
still has to come back. Mike King, we still have Mike King. Obviously, these guys are not, going to make you jump out of your seats. But just the fact that we have depth, that's what the Dodgers do so well. Is like they have so many guys that can start games, and I just we're getting Sevy back. Like that's great.
I agree.
Think about it this way: Davey is our 7th starter.
Yeah,
When Severino's healthy.
and Chacin might come back.
No one say no. No one
Shahin.
say no because he's
No.
gonna start crying.
Okay.
It's okay.
No, I was just making sure. I just. All right.
Brandon, go for it.
I'm really excited about Tyone. I mean, the Yankees have a tendency to make in the offseason when we don't think they're going to do much, making trades like this. I mean, we didn't give up much. I think we gave up Yayure and who else? Did we give up the catcher Castillo? But either way, I think the delivery Tyone is now using reminds me of like what they did to fix Giolito, because Giolito would now kind of short arm it. He's had 2 Tommy Johns, so as long as it prevents an elbow injury, we saw what he's capable of doing. Wipeout slider, really good curve, and a good fastball. So as long as if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a really good pitcher. And honestly, I think he would make the All-Star game as a pitcher if he stays healthy.
That's fair. Wrapping up the rotation, I mean, it's unreal. Like we keep mentioning, Luis Severino is bound to come back around like June, July, maybe. I think that's the estimated timetable. Also, let's not forget, Devi Garcia is that next man up in AAA right now. So don't sleep on him. I think he's going to make plenty of starts this season. Clark Schmidt is going to be in AAA too. Like Jalen said, Yoeli Chacin might come back as well. So it's going to be very interesting as far as the rotation goes. But now we got the bullpen to wrap things up. Rather than going through every single bullpen arm, what we're going to do is we'll go around. We'll each pick one bullpen arm to keep an eye on this season. I think that's fair. I'll start things off. I'm going to say Luis Sessa. I think Luis Sessa is going to play a huge role this season just because he's going to provide the Yankees with some length. And with guys like Domingo Germán, Corey Kluber, and Jameson Taillon, who haven't pitched since 2019, I think Sessa is going to play a pig role. Wait, no, it's going to make sense. A pig role in piggybacking those guys. Okay?
No,
Who's
you made it worse.
Comparisons with food, bro.
Who's next?
Whatever. So I think he's going to play a big role in piggybacking those guys. And I don't know. I think Luis Sessa has just kind of been underrated for the Yankees, especially last season. He was awesome. They definitely misutilized him in the playoffs. They used him in blowout situations. Meanwhile, they used Adam Ottavino in high leverage spots. I think Luis Sessa should have been using those roles. But regardless, I think he's a guy to really keep an eye on this year. Brian?
Love it. My guy is going to be Chad Green. Okay, I think he is such an important piece to this bullpen for so many reasons, mainly because of his versatility. He's a guy that can give you multiple innings. He can come in, pitch in tight spots in like the 8th inning or so. But he's also a guy that can pitch earlier in the game. And if he's pitching well, that gives this bullpen so much depth. He's probably going to be the closer for the first couple of games with Chapman out. And, if he can solidify himself in that role just to show that he can do it, like that's huge for us. Like just the fact that he can pitch anywhere in that bullpen. So I think he's going to be really key this year.
Sure. Para?
I'm going with the newbie, Darren O'Day.
Ooh.
Okay.
An old newbie.
Yeah.
Very old
Honestly, O'Day's had experience in the playoffs before, and he has one of the nastiest pitches in baseball. The sidearm is a real big deal for a bullpen guy. So honestly, I'm excited to see him because he's going to be one of those key 7, 8 inning guys. So be on the lookout for him.
Jalen?
Yeah, I was torn. I had 2 guys to go between here, but I know who Brandon wants to pick here,
bro. Don't.
So who I'm gonna say is Johnny Lasagna. I think similarly to Luis Sessa, I think Johnny Lasagna could be one of those X factors for the Yankees, especially when you get into the time of the year where everyone's kind of like a little bit run down. Our starters are maybe not going as deep into ball games. He's a very versatile weapon, and I think we have 3 guys in the bullpen that can be like that Chad Green type of guy. And I think Lasagna is one of them. I think Sess is one of them. And I think Brandon's guy is another one of them. And those type of relievers are so essential in this time or era of baseball because starters are not going deep into ball games anymore. And especially coming off a 60-game season, when you have a guy like Loizaga who can go 2 innings, maybe 3 innings, he throws 98. He has a nasty curve/slider slurve thing. He's working on his changeup, and I just really think he's poised for a big year. He had a pretty good spring. So Johnny Lasagna is my guy.
I mean, I think everyone knows who I'm going to pick. It's Nick Nelson, who I think he had 1 run this entire spring. I mean, I've said this. Nelson has the stuff that reminds me of Betances. great fastball, wipeout slider. But what he has one up on him is actually a good changeup, a developing changeup. And I think towards the end of the year, Nick Nelson is going to be one of the go-to guys because he, kind of like Chad Green, can go multiple innings. I believe he was a starter in the minors. So I believe you start seeing him go 1-2 innings as a start and then kind of progress up into those higher leverage roles.
Sure. That's very fair. Listen, guys, we went over the entire Yankees team. You love to see that, but before we do wrap things up tonight, let's make our predictions as far as what the Yankees are going to do this season, right? I guess you guys could kind of say we're not going to go through entire playoff brackets. We'll save that for the postseason, but I guess we could just say where we think the Yankees are going to finish. Let me start off by saying, raise your hand if you don't think the Yankees are going to win the World Series this year. All right, cool. So we're all on the same page with that.
Good night, boys.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just say who we think the Yankees are going to beat in the World Series, maybe. Right?
We're
I have them
the
beating.
Dodgers.
I have them beating the Dodgers in 6.
We're all gonna say the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Say how many games you think it's gonna go.
Wait. What did I say? 6? Yeah.
You
It's the
said
Dodgers.
I was
in
gonna
6.
say 6.
Para.
6.
All right, how about this? How many regular season games do you think the Yankees are gonna win?
60.
Yeah, that's good. 60.
No, 110.
103. Book it.
Sheesh.
105.
110?
I think
Bumble.
okay. Here's the
110
thing, guys. Let's be realistic here because I think what's important to note is I think when we do these preseason predictions, we kind of are very on the side of hope rather than expecting everyone to suck. Like no one, I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say the Yankees are going to win 85 games. So
Sure.
I do want to be cautious about that because that is how we get our hearts broken as Yankees fans. When we predict Aaron Judge for 45 home runs in an MVP year, and then he misses half the season and hits 22, and then comes back somehow
Clark
just
says
in
we're
time for
getting
playoffs. Yeah, just like I think the Yankees realistically are going to win between 98 and 102 games. I'll go 102 just because I want to be optimistic. I think they're going to run away with the AL East, and I think they'll have home field throughout the entire American League bracket pennant playoff thing, and they're going to win the World Series in 6 games. Jordan Montgomery is going to start that game, and Dustin May is going to be the losing pitcher.
Guys, speaking of the World Series, you guys know what we need to do now. 5-second meditation, imagining the Yankees winning the 2021 World Series. Another great transition to end the night. Jalen's waving his bandana. All right, everyone,
Let's go, baby.
close your eyes. Imagine for 5 seconds a group meditation session now for the first time. The Yankees winning the 2021 World Series. Go. Parry, you now
All
we have
right,
to
start
restart.
over.
3, 2, 1.
What's going on, man?
Great meditation, guys. Did you guys imagine it?
Yeah.
I
I'd
saw
love
it.
to see it. Chat, I
I'll be
appreciate
Billy's.
everyone for sticking around for an hour and almost 45 minutes tonight. It was an awesome stream. Honestly, I think this went pretty well, so maybe we'll do like more group streams throughout the season. Maybe we'll make it like a certain day of the week, a certain day of the month. I don't know. We'll work it out. But chat, we are going to be pumping out content all regular season. Now expect our regular recorded episodes, same time as usual every day. On day games, we might make them a little bit earlier because they usually go up at 12. Maybe we'll start putting them up at like 10 on day games, so it'll go up at a reasonable time. Pre-games, post-games for just about every single game. So tomorrow, the pregame will start at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So head to Unhinged Yankees on YouTube, 12 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be live for the pregame, and then we'll let you guys know when the postgame is going to be, probably directly after the game, and then we'll probably go live again at 9 p.m. for our usual time. Hope everyone has an awesome night. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Opening day is tomorrow. Get a good night rest. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Peace.